So let me take the time to welcome everybody to for you, it would be an inaugural session for what is new in the world of Microsoft 365 Copilot. And Margie actually just nailed it. Um, the What's New segment is a segment that happens once every month. The idea behind this segment is to present to you all the hard work, all of the innovation that we're doing to further improve Microsoft 365 Copilot. So everything that's new. Now it's a monthly session, and as you can see, this is as of 8th of April. So it means all of the updates for March that were implemented, everything that's new for the entirety of March is what we're going to be presenting today. Next month, being May, we will also have everything that was released for the entirety of the month of April. Now, because again, we're just joining this session for the first time, Inti has been hoarding all the materials. Hopefully he hasn't been hoarding them, but Inti has all of the materials for the previous months. Inti, perhaps this is something that we can post to the AI SharePoint site so that users can also go there, download the materials, and then catch up on where we are with everything that's been released, in addition to what the user experience would be as well. So with all that being said, let's go right ahead and dive in. So again, this is just a monthly roadmap briefing that talks about everything that's new on a monthly basis in the world of Microsoft 365 Copilot. So let's take a look at what the agenda looks like. So typically, this update covers 3 segments. The first segment is for IT admins. This is really Inti, Dr. Wayne, and the internal IT team at University of Miami. The second is going to be updates covering Copilot agents and extensibility. Again, this is really for both IT admins and power users within University of Miami that are interested in using agents, but not just using agents, but also building their own agents. Now, for the larger user community, the user capabilities segment is what contains all of the end user based or end user focused updates for Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is really what we're going to be covering today. So for sessions like this on a monthly basis, I will be presenting the user capabilities segment only. Then, of course, for Brian, Dr. Wayne, and the internal IT team at University of Miami, we'll cover pretty much everything else. So with that being said, let's dive into the user capabilities update. Now, it will feel like a news broadcast, but it doesn't have to feel that way. Every slide will talk about what's new, and then I'll take my time to explain it from a feature perspective. I would love for you to, as you're listening attentively, it's okay if you're also opening your Copilot chat to compare these features to see if you already can see it, right? Also, I would love for you to come off mute, ask me any question regarding the slide I am presenting or any slide I would have presented prior, or use the chat to, throw your question in the chat if you need me to clarify anything. I am more than happy to go back any number of slides for you. I'm here for you. Okay, so our very first slide. This update introduces what we call the video recap as a new way to consume meeting summaries in Copilot chat. So that instead of relying only on a written summary, Copilot now pairs that recap with an automatically generated narrated highlight reel. This is super cool. This simply means that users can both read the key takeaways and see the most important moments from the meeting. Now, the value here is speed and relevance. So rather than just scrubbing through a full recording of the meeting, users now get short, curated clips that surface the decisions, insights, key discussion points, those ones that really matter most. Now, video recap works for meetings that are at least 10 minutes long and have recording enabled. So that means for video recap to work, the same rules also have to apply to text. So the meeting has to be recorded. So if the meeting is merely transcribed, then there is no video recap because there was no recording. So for video recap to work, that Teams meeting must be fully recorded, not just transcribed. So you can think of the video recap as the trailer to an awesome movie. It just shows you, the key interesting bits that are also very relevant. So this update at the moment is English only at the moment, and then it also started rolling out from last month, which is March. All right, so that's video recap. Now, the next update here is this update, I mean, enhances the researcher agent in Microsoft 365 Copilot by making it much easier to reuse and repurpose research insights. Now, once a report is generated, users can simply instantly convert it into multiple output formats. Think of this as converting it to a PowerPoint deck or a PDF document or an infographic or even a short audio overview. Now, the key benefit here is going to be efficiency. So instead of reworking the same content for different audiences, users can simply adapt their insights into a single click or with a single click while keeping the core analysis consistent. Now, this is intended to make researcher especially valuable for scenarios where the same research needs to be shared with executives, project teams, or even external stakeholders in different formats. Now, these new outputs rolled out this past March as part of the researcher experience in Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, again, when we say researcher, we're actually referring to the researcher agent in the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. Now, for this next slide, this update actually focuses on improving how users work with Copilot notebooks by delivering a more intuitive and connected experience. Now, we've refreshed this interface. So this refreshed interface now brings references, Copilot page content, and Copilot chat into a single side-by-side view. So users can now move between context, content, as well as conversation without actually losing focus. Now, the cool thing here is that Copilot Notebooks also introduces richer reference sets, as well as a new overview page, which then helps users quickly understand what's included in a Copilot notebook and how everything fits together. In addition, Copilot now supports faster artifact creation directly within notebooks, thereby reducing the friction between exploration and output. Now, finally, sharing notebooks with teammates has now become much simpler than it used to be, making it a lot easier to collaborate, reuse work, and also keep everyone aligned. Now, we started rolling this update out in February of this year, but we completed it last month, the month of March. Now, audio recap is now available in 7 additional languages. So this update really extends audio recap to better support global teams by expanding its language coverage. So in addition to English, users can now generate and listen to AI-powered audio summaries in 7 more languages. These languages are Chinese, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, and of course, we couldn't leave out Spanish. Now, the goal here is flexibility. So some users prefer listening over reading, right? Especially when commuting or even multitasking. And then audio recap is just going to make that a lot easier to consume these meeting contents in those moments. Now, audio recap is designed to, focus on the outcomes that matter most, thereby surfacing key discussion points, decisions, as well as action items from one or multiple meetings in a concise narrated format. Now, this language extension rolled out in March and helps ensure Copilot meeting experiences feel not just accessible, but also inclusive for distributed multilingual teams. Drag this here. The knowledge agent has now been rebranded as AI in SharePoint. This update really represents the evolution of what was previously called knowledge agent. It's now refreshed and rebranded as AI in SharePoint with expanded capabilities. But then AI in SharePoint is just designed to bring agentic building and content intelligence directly into the SharePoint experience, allowing teams to describe what they want to create by simply using natural language. So instead of needing deep SharePoint or technical expertise, users can just simply explain their intent, such as building a site, building a page, adding a library, or even a list. And Copilot just just helps, plan and structure it for them. Now, the cool thing here, of course, is that this would now significantly lower the barrier to entry for SharePoint site creation, thereby enabling more people across the organization to contribute without relying on specialists. Now, this AI in SharePoint entered public preview in March and also begins rolling out. So expecting it to now start rolling out in May. Oh, yes, Margie, that's a good question. Yes, we will make these slides available for everyone. Okay, well, I also did say that this session is going to be very short because there isn't a lot to present. There wasn't a lot of updates this month, so we just have 4 more slides to complete, and then we can save the rest of the time. But more on AI in SharePoint. So really just expanding on new capabilities. So beyond planning and building experiences, AI in SharePoint also strengthens how content is structured as well as maintained over time. So the platform now automatically extracts and applies metadata, reducing manual tagging, as well as helping ensure information is, consistently organized. Now, as content evolves, libraries will adapt dynamically, thereby maintaining relevance as well as structure without requiring users to manage these changes by themselves. This structured approach is going to be very critical for Copilot as well as agent experiences across Microsoft 365 because well-organized information leads to more accurate answers as well as better AI outputs. Now, these preview capabilities are powered by Anthropic's Claude model. So that means users who are already licensed for Microsoft 365 Copilot, like yourselves, will see a ton of value. Now, it entered public preview in March, but we're also expecting this to roll out, globally by the month of May. Now, Work IQ automatically brings in the most relevant context in Excel. So this update is intended to improve how Copilot works inside Excel by automatically grounding it in the most relevant work context. Now, when users edit with Copilot, Work IQ brings in context from emails, meetings, chats, as well as files without the user needing to manually reference any of it. Now, with the richer context, Copilot can simply perform more accurate and more complex multi-step edits that better reflect what's actually happening across a user's work. This now means that Excel outputs are going to be more aligned to current priorities relationships, as well as decisions, rather than isolated spreadsheet data. Now, the result here is going to be a faster, more intelligent edits with much less prompting. And we also rolled out this capability in March. Now, Copilot can now make multi-step edits to modern Excel workbooks, that are stored locally. So we're not just talking files that are stored in OneDrive, the documents folder, the desktop, and the pictures folder. We're talking about files stored on thumb drives, network shares, or even the downloads folder. So this update expands where Copilot can be used in Excel by simply supporting modern workbooks that are stored locally on a user's device. Now, Copilot, of course, can now perform multi-step edits on Excel files that are saved. And we're not just talking about Windows devices as well. We're also talking about the Mac OS, thereby removing the previous dependency on cloud-stored files. This is intended to give users more flexibility to work the way they want, especially in scenarios where files can't or shouldn't be moved to the cloud. Importantly, though, users still get the same intelligent multi-step Copilot experience, whether the workbook lives locally or online. Now, we rolled out this feature in March, and we've ensured that Copilot in Excel is now much more inclusive of real world working patterns. Let me play a short video that also shows how this works. So you're seeing here that this is a file that's stored locally, and you're still prompting Copilot within that file, that Excel spreadsheet, and Copilot is still performing all of the operations that's needed for this to run effectively. While that's running, I'll pause for any questions or any thoughts on this. Okay, awesome. So let's move on. This is the second to the last slide to be presented today, and it's citations display for Copilot in Word. Now, this update improves trust and transparency when using Copilot to edit documents in Microsoft Word. Now, when Copilot generates or edits content using information from web sources or even Work IQ context, citations are now automatically displayed inline. This is really cool because it makes it easy for users to see where information comes from, helping them quickly validate sources and also verify accuracy as they work. Now, it also helps ensure more reliable referencing across Copilot assisted edits, which of course is especially important for formal documents, reviews, as well as collaborative writing. Now, overall, this change increases confidence in Copilot generated content while also reducing the efforts needed to track and confirm sources. We started rolling out this feature in March, just last month. And for our final slide, we now have a standardized format with Copilot in PowerPoint. Now, this feature is really all about removing friction from slide cleanup. Now, with the Edit with Copilot feature, users can now standardize the entire presentation in a single action, instead of manually fixing fonts and bullets slide by slide. Imagine if you actually had 50 slides, or in some cases where I'm doing presentations like this, where I have, and I've had briefings where I've had 179 slides. So imagine if I've had to standardize those slides. Now, Copilot, of course, will automatically update the font size, bullet styles across the entire deck, which of course is especially useful when combining content from multiple sources or even reusing older slides. Now, the real value here is going to be consistency. By simply enforcing a unified design, the presentation will look more polished and professional without extra efforts from the author. Now, because formatting is handled for you, users can now spend more time refining their message or even working and fixing their storytelling rather than worrying about layout details. Juan, I see your question. I'll read out and then we can answer your question in a bit. Now, the capability, of course, is already available in PowerPoint on the web, but we've started rolling this out for PowerPoint, the PowerPoint desktop app on Windows as well as Mac OS, making it consistent across major PowerPoint platforms. So the rollout is still gradual. It's not complete yet, but we should be receiving additional updates on this for the updates going to be announced in May. And this is the final slide. So let me read Juan's question. So is this format standardization available for MS Word? Okay, I see what you mean. There are templates we use repeatedly in MS Word. If we have the data available, we can add the right content in the right place of the template. Yeah, this is a good question. So at the moment, we've only just announced this for PowerPoint, but we have this in the pipelines for Microsoft Word as well. But yeah, this is not essentially available for Microsoft Word as yet. So that means for Microsoft Word for now, you'd have to manually open that template file and then paste it in. And of course, you still need to do some polishing. That standardization feature is still upcoming for Microsoft Word. I hope that answers your question. May not entirely be what you're looking for, but yeah, you're welcome anytime. And that wraps up this month's technical update briefing. Let me know if you have any additional questions or thoughts.
No, thank you, Charles. If you send me the slide deck, then I'll work with our team to make sure we put it on our website so everyone can have access to it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you again.